All right, Shanna. I was chatting with a neighbor the other day, and he mentioned that he was already booking flights for late summer.
It's time.
He sounded genuinely excited, but then he let out this huge, weary sigh. I felt so bad for him.
No.
And this is what he said. Now I just have to figure out how to pay for the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. It's that classic pay later panic that kind of sets in, right? We've been there. You get that really initial adrenaline intoxicating rush of clicking confirm on that booking package. And then the crushing reality of the total price tag sets in.
Exactly. And it's that universal feeling where you're trying to look forward to the relaxation.
Yeah.
But secretly, you're dreading the credit card statement that's going to be waiting for you the second you get back. It's the vacation hangover that starts before the trip even begins.
Yeah, yeah. And it is. It's a total buzzkill. There's nothing that ruins an actual memories of a vacation faster than the knowledge that you're still paying on the interest on that hotel room you stayed in months ago.
It's a debt cycle that keeps people stuck.
Yeah.
You work hard for 6 months to pay off last year's trip, just in time to go back into debt for this year's.
Yeah. Yep. So you really feel like you're never on vacation, so to speak. And that's what we're going to try to fix for y'all today. We're going to talk about how to break that cycle and take that guilt out of your getaway because we want you to have fun. You shouldn't have to choose between a fun summer and a balanced budget.
Exactly. Welcome back to Making Sense of Your Sense. I'm Daniel Hill.
And I am Shanna Browning. And today we're going to help you build the vacation bucket. We're talking about how to travel without debt, why sinking funds are the secret weapon of the frequent traveler, and how to plan for those seasonal expenses so they never catch you by surprise again.
So let's get deep into the psychology of vacation spending. When we're on vacation, we aren't operating with our everyday brain.
No way.
We shift into spend mode. We tell ourselves things like, I'm on a break. I deserve this. Or we'll just put it on the card and handle it later.
I've never said that, Daniel. Never.
Right.
That's the primary trap, right? The entire travel industry is built on exploiting the exact mentality of what you just said. From the moment you land or you arrive at your hotel, you are bombarded with upgrades, rental car insurance you don't need, resort fees that weren't clearly itemized, dining expenses that promise to be once in a lifetime. It's so easy to swipe and so difficult to track.
And the danger of the swipe is that it disconnects you from the value of the money. You're trading your future earnings for a present day experience. If you're paying 20% on that credit card, that fancy dinner at the resort actually ended up costing 20% more than what was on the menu. You aren't just paying for the food, you're paying for the bank's profit margin on your leisure.
Yeah, right. And that brings up that post-vacation blues, right? It's not about the sadness of returning to the grind. It now sets in that it is financial anxiety. You come home, you open your physical or your digital mail. We're hoping digital mail.
Right.
And suddenly you're hit with that reminder that the relaxation you just experienced was in debt and borrowed.
And it turns a positive, life-enriching memory into a persistent source of stress. The goal of our episode today is to show you how to experience the relaxation without the financial hangover that so many people carry around for months after they unpack their suitcases. So let's shift from passive consumer to intentional planner.
Which I love. So let's do that. So if we're going to move away from the pay later model, how do we actually afford a high quality vacation? The answer is the sinking fund.
A sinking fund is just a dedicated, purpose-built savings account. Most people have their main checking account and maybe a general messy savings account, but a sinking fund is a purpose-built. When you put money into your vacation bucket, it's already conceptually gone. It's no longer available for groceries, gas, or that random impulse purchase at the big box store. It's earmarked specifically for your vacation experience.
Vacation experience. Let's tell ourselves that in our head all our time, right? The vacation experience. And the power is in the math and the consistency of that. So let's say you want to take a family trip that's going to cost you $3,000. We can save that in 3 months, right? Let's try to do that. So that's $1,000 a month. Well, that's painful. Yeah. That's hard to do, right? So that's an emergency level budget adjustment. But if you start 12 months out, if you know that you want to take a big trip, like Hawaii's on my bucket list. If I know I want to go to Hawaii, I'm going to start planning for Hawaii, right? Because that's not going to be cheap. So that's about, going back to 12 months for $3,000, that's about $250 a month, $250 a month. That is way more manageable for most family budget.
A lot more.
And it's the difference between a crisis and a habit.
And the best part, you're actually earning interest on that money while you save, rather than paying interest to a bank. By the time you get to the airport, you've actually earned a little bonus on your vacation savings. You have shifted the power dynamic. You're now the one in control of your financial destiny.
I love being in control. It also fundamentally changes your spending habits while you're there, right? You have a set amount of cash in a travel account that you have built over a year, and you spend more intentionally. Yes. You aren't just swiping mindlessly. You're deciding how to allocate your own money. If you see an excursion that costs $200, you have to decide, is it worth the $200 I saved for this trip? That makes you much more empowered and an appreciative traveler.
Hey everyone, Daniel Hill here with a quick question for you. Is your most sensitive financial information sitting in an unsecured metal box on the street right now? Paper statements are one of the primary targets for identity thieves and mail fraud. When you make the switch to e-statements, you're moving your data out of the mailbox and into our high-security digital vault. It's significantly safer, and it's a whole lot faster. You'll get an email the second your statement is ready without having to wait days for the mail carrier to arrive at your house. Plus, you can finally say goodbye to those shoeboxes of paper and filing cabinets taking up space. We keep your statements archived and accessible right in the app whenever you need them. Whether you're hunting for a record during tax season or providing documentation for a new loan. It takes less than 2 minutes to enroll through our mobile app or online banking portal. Protect your identity, clear the clutter, and take control of your records today. Now, let's get back to the show.
People always focus on the plane ticket or the hotel, but the real budget busters are the incidentals, the snacks, the parking fees, the impulse souvenirs, the luggage check fees.
And we call all these fees vacation creep.
It's such a great term.
You have your flights and your hotel paid for, but suddenly you're at the airport and a lunch for 4 is $80. Then you need a ride to the hotel, and the airport shuttle or ride share is $50. And you didn't budget for that, so you swipe your card.
Yeah, real easy to do. And then don't forget the convenience fees. You're on vacation, so you stop cooking. That means 3 meals a day out, plus coffee, plus drinks. That alone can double the cost of a trip. If you go on a week-long trip and you spend an extra $100 a day on food because you weren't eating breakfast in the hotel room, that is $700 you did not account for. That fast.
Wow. That's why your sinking fund needs to be a total trip cost fund. I recommend adding a 20% buffer on top of your estimated cost for these unknowns.
I love that.
If you go under budget, you bring that money back home and start your next trip fund. It's the ultimate safety cushion.
Well, and another pro tip that we see and try to encourage is automate the transfer.
Yes,
automate it.
Yes.
If you have to manually move that money from checking to savings, you'll find a reason not to every time. If it's not, if it is an automatic transfer on payday, you never miss it.
Right.
It becomes the invisible saving. And by the time summer rolls around, you look at your account and that money that you have saved so hard is waiting for you. It turns saving into a background task rather than a willpower struggle.
Absolutely. So, Shanna, we get a lot of questions about this during the summer. What's on people's minds?
Going on vacation. And the big one is, what if I have an emergency? Should I take money out of my vacation fund to cover that? I know.
That really is a tough one. If it's a true emergency, like the car breaking down, then yes, the vacation fund is a source of liquidity. But the goal is to have an emergency fund separate from your vacation fund. Treat the vacation fund as non-essential. If you have to dip into it, you do it. But that might mean the vacation becomes a staycation this year. And it is better to have a staycation than to take on new high-interest debt.
And we can always put that, if the big emergency comes up, make that next summer trip, start saving for it again. So another question we get is, how do I get my family on board with this saving mindset when they just want to go now?
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, it does. The biggest thing I can say, and we do this, is get them involved.
Yep.
Show them the goal. If the kids know that saving $50 a month means we can afford a bigger theme park pass, they'll be much more likely to help track those expenses. It turns it into a family game rather than a parental restriction.
I love that. Include them.
Absolutely.
Especially kids. Yeah.
If you can't beat them, join them.
That's
right.
That's right.
This has been a very timely discussion. I feel, we're approaching the middle of June and vacation time is starting. So let's give everyone an actionable tip for this week.
Now listen, y'all know I love an actionable tip. So the one for this week is open the travel bucket.
Simple, easy. Sometime this week, open a separate savings account at the bank, at our bank, at First Century Bank.
Yes.
I can't stress that.
First Century Bank.
You don't have to call it anything fancy, but giving it a clear purpose like summer escape or vacation experience makes it much more real.
Yes, it does. And here is a real challenge for you. Once you open that account, set up an automatic transfer of $20 per week. $20 a month. This is for you.
Yep. You
do what is right for your budget. And so make it whatever you can. And that's less than a few coffees. Again, Chris, we're sorry. Sorry, Pierce, we're sorry too. But if keep your coffee. We love our things, but at the end of the year, if you give up some of those things that are non-essentials, at the end of the year, you've got over $1,000 saved for your next getaway. It's the easiest way to start turning someday into next summer.
Yes. And it's all done if you automate it. It's all done without you even having to think about it.
All right, Daniel, I'm ready. Let's go for a trip. Let's do it.
Me too. So we're going to take a trip next week. Next week, we're moving into a phase of teaching kids under 12 about money.
I love that. You don't want to miss it. So subscribe now so that it's in your feed next Tuesday.
Again, we appreciate you being part of our community. Now, go out, open that travel bucket, and make some sense of your sense.
That's right. Vacation.